Welcome to our Fireside Chat for Tuesday, June the 9th. We have entered week 14 and we're still locked down and trying to figure out our way forward. So we're looking forward this week to our Premier giving us some more direction as to what we can do. But as of today, this is where we're at. First of all, just our hampers. We have given out more hampers last week again, so we're now at 66. And we thank you for your generosity in giving both cash and food to that. If you want to drop off food, we're going to 1 day a week now, just Thursdays from 4 to 6 p.m. And if you want to give to that, you can do that through any of our online giving. Just a couple of things that are coming up. One, we're very excited about our prayer meeting that's coming up on June the 29th. So that's a Monday night. We're going to all bring our lawn chairs. We're going to sit on the lawn. We're going to do a little bit of reflection and connection with God through His Word, and then we're going to pray together. And I want to invite you to come out to that. We're at a challenging time in our church's life. We're going through this COVID crisis. We're going through change, and we have some major committees that are meeting, and I'll talk about those in a second. But it is important to be in prayer for our church. We have our day camps that are starting up next week, and we want to invite you to come out and pray. If it's just one person from your family, bring your lawn chair, come and sit socially distanced on the lawn, but come and pray with us. And as a witness to our community, as a witness to our church, as an encouragement to each other, and as a power with God to release His power to us, come and pray. The other thing we're doing is planning a communion service on the lawn. And that's going to be in July, on July the 12th. And you'll hear more about that as we go. We have pre-sealed communion elements that we can use. We'll be socially distanced. But just a chance to come and be together and take communion. The word communion means to be together. And so to be able to take communion together, we feel is important. And so again, you'll hear more about that. But what we've just been trying to do is to figure out if we can't do everything, can we do something? And so we are pulling together what we can as we can. As part of that, our day camps will be starting next Monday. We ask you to be in prayer for that. There'll be in-person camps of 7 to 8 kids with 2 leaders. And again, following all the social distancing rules and cohort rules that we're allowed. But just exciting to see kids being allowed back into church, into day camp. And not what we're used to, but what we're able to do. A couple of prayer requests, just as part of this prayer meeting that's coming up and prayer requests that are coming up. We have 3 major committees that are all meeting at the same time. It's just sort of interesting trying to get at all the meetings. The first one is our strategic planning committee, just looking at what does it look like that we move forward as a church in the next 5 to 10 years. What is it that we see ourselves becoming? How do we see God calling us forward? And what is it that we want to do? And one of the purposes of that committee is to give us a little more clarity on the second committee, which is the Senior Pastor Committee. This is the search for a new senior pastor when I retire at the end of April. And the question is, what person do we want for that? And so figuring out where we sense God leading us and some of the planning to get there helps us to see the kind of skill sets and the kind of gifts and vision that we want to see in the new person. So be in prayer for that. They will be contacting you about a survey coming up soon. And speaking of surveys, there was a survey that came out for the strategic planning group. They would love you to fill that in for them as well. And so you'll be getting hit up for a couple of different surveys to get your understanding, opinion, desires, vision for the church. And the third committee, after the strategic planning and the senior pastor search, is also the Children and Family Search Committee, as Don retires also at the end of April. And so that committee has begun their work and are starting to look for a person to be our Children and Family pastor. So these are the things that are moving forward in spite of all the other stuff that's going on. And I just invite your prayer for that. You will be asked for input, and we invite you just to be generous with that as well. Let us know your thoughts, what God is speaking to you through His Holy Spirit. As we continue on in this week 14, there's a number of other things that are going on in the church, but we look forward to Sunday. Tyler's going to bring us a message from the second half of chapter 3 of 1 John. We look forward to celebrating our grads this Sunday, and we look forward to all the different ways that we can worship together. So we just invite your prayers, we invite your continue to connect with each other, to stay in touch. And we look forward to talking to you again next week. See you next Tuesday. Bye now.